Next I like คุณณัฐกรว่า What do you think that Thailand and China should do to increase the economic and business cooperation next year?
To be frankly, I support that Mr. Zhao just said because of we just have been kick off the launch one project in that Kun Panitan just mentioned in the Pattani, Narathiwat and Yala. We call the EP01, and we have another the industrial park more like a e-commerce park. But now we just set up one company in that area from China. They come from Shenzhen. Is come to manufacture about the rubber wood and ship to USA, and they have problem. They can't enter to the USA. I am the one that meet him, and I said, okay, you may set up the company in Mexico, but they said Mexico, I don't have the rubber wood. They don't have the raw material. I said, why you not come to Thailand? In the southern we have a lot of rubber wood. So that's one. They come, and just only 3 months. Nowadays they can sell about 2 million baht per day to export. This one is increased about the worker labor more than 50 people per small factory. So they just buy more land. I just know yesterday morning 200 right in Thailand. So that thing I think I will add more like the council in the China to join and survey more in the area. I just talked with the Kun Prinn that he said he welcome if I bring on Chinese businessmen come to survey that area, because I always believe that in Thailand we can do 2 things in the same time that I learned from China. We can reduce the war and we can increase the sale. For me next year, that for Thai, from my perspective, it's a lot of opportunity because we can invite a lot of Chinese investors come to Thailand, especially in the area that like EEC, but people not know much about the Thai Southern. That more privileged more than EEC, because as you may know, we have the special offer and grade of the privilege. Yeah, thank you.
คุณปิงรัฐบาลไทยประเทศอะไรปีหน้าเพื่อให้การค้าเศรษฐกิจไทยจีนเนี่ยขยายตัวขึ้นไปอีก
ก็คือที่ทัดดูที่นิคมที่ไทยไชนีสนะครับเพราะตอนนี้เราจริงๆก็มี140 ลงแต่ที่เรามองข้างหน้าที่อนาคตเนาะเราก็มองว่าวางแผนว่าอย่างน้อยก็300 ลงแต่จริงๆเราก็ทำไปเรื่อยๆอาจจะถึง300เราต้องไปตอนนี้คือเราวางแผน12 ตารางกิโลแต่ก็ตอนนี้คือก็ประมาณ12 ตารางกิโลครับคือตอนนี้คือ8 ตารางกิโลคือพัฒนาเสร็จแล้วก็มีโรงงานเข้ามาผมคิดว่าก็ต่อไปที่จะตอนนี้คือเรามีพนักงานคนไทย 35,000 คนแล้วก็คนจีนก็5,000 คนอนาคตอย่างน้อยก็ต้องถึง100,000 คนแต่ตอนนี้คือที่ต่ำที่ผู้นักลงทุนก็มาเยอะขึ้นเรื่อยๆแต่ก็มีกับปัญหาก็ใช่ก็เกิดขึ้นก็เยอะนะเพราะเราเรื่องวีซ่าเรื่องที่ของที่นโยบายส่งเสริมเราก็อยากให้ที่รัฐบาลไทยเพราะตอนนี้เราก็คุยกันที่กับที่เกามันของไทยอยู่เราก็อยากให้ที่ตรงนี้คือให้อันนี้คือไม่ได้บอกว่าไม่ว่าไทยหรือว่าจีนไม่ได้บอกว่าใครผิดหรือว่ายังไงแค่ยังไงก็สุดท้ายก็เราก็ต้องร่วมมือทำให้ตรงนี้อาจจะที่ดีกว่าเดิมแล้วก็ดีขึ้นก็ทำให้ผู้นักลงทุนก็ยิ่งก็มาลงทุนที่ประเทศไทยเพราะว่าตอนนี้ที่เปลี่ยนเทียบไม่ว่าไทยกับที่ประเทศที่อยู่อาเซียนหรือว่าเป็นโลกที่ประเทศอื่นก็ไทยก็มีหลายอย่างก็คือก็ดีอยู่แล้วเนาะเพราะผมก็อยู่เมืองไทยก็นานมากแล้วผมก็ชอบเมืองไทยก็คนที่ข้างเพื่อนที่ข้างผมก็มาเมืองไทยก็3 ปีถึง 5 ปีก็คนส่วนใหญ่ก็ไม่อยากกลับก็อยากอยู่ที่นี่ไม่อยากกลับก็อยากอยู่ที่นี่แต่ก็เห็นก็อาจจะมีหลายด้านก็เราก็ฝั่งที่เราคนจีน เราก็ต้องพัฒนาแต่ก็มีหลายๆด้านที่ไทยก็ต้องพัฒนาไปเรื่อยๆครับโอเคขอบคุณมากครับ
So, Mr. Ming, maybe you can share your opinion how Thailand and China can boost the economic and other relations next year.
Okay, I think that next year will be a very important year for the two countries because the two countries are celebrating the 45th the diplomatic ties anniversary, and maybe many Chinese the Chinese high-level officials or leaders will come to visit Thailand, and the kind of exchanges will be more common than the past years. So, and I think that on the background for the whole world situation, especially the U.S.-China relations, I think the trade conflict will continue, and not only for 1 year, maybe for 10 years or 20 years, but it's different from each year. And I think that next year will be an important year for the China-U.S. relations. So I believe that between China and Thailand, we have more cooperation opportunities, especially in farming products, and transportation, and many other fields. So, and for also for the Asian countries in this field, because of the whole world situation in consideration, China is focusing its efforts on ASEAN and its neighboring countries.
Thank you, Mr. Ming. So I think this is going to be the last round. I would like to ask Dr. Kobsak what Thailand and China can do next year to further boost, increase the bilateral relations, in your opinion, please.
ครับขอบคุณครับ When you think of how can we deepening the relationship, I think there are 5 things, 5 channels. Already talk about investment. I think next year will be a great year for cross-border investment from China into Thailand. Tourism will also be very exciting. Now Chinese tourists accounting for 25% of the total tourist industry in Thailand. I mean, this is amazing, right? But 10 million is still small for the total Chinese market. We can increase even more. So basically, I think if we can do better, then more tourists from China will come to Thailand. And what we have seen essentially is that, as Kun Ming have said, Thai baht appreciate 20% compared to the Chinese yuan. But the Chinese people still coming to Thailand more. So it means that they love Thai food. They love Thai woman, Thai man. So basically, I think they feel it's like home for them to be in Thailand. So I think this is a great thing. Our seaside is one of the best. So I think that can be done also. In terms of export, I think there's some room to play, especially when the export from China, from America cannot get into China. I think this will be also another very important thing that we can do together, especially now the road connectivity with China is improved very much. I mean, the one from Chiang Khong to Khun Ming, and another one from Nakhon Phanom and Mukdahan to Nanning is already finished. Only 700 kilometers on land. So we can produce product from the northeast and send to China. Or the fruit durian their love. So basically can be sent to China also. So I don't lose hope for export sector. I think we can work with a lot of province in China and to making sure that the Thai product can go there. But two more things that we can do. Financial sector. We are working with Hong Kong to making sure that there will be cross-listing between the Thai stock and Hong Kong stock. The reason why we would like to get our stock to be listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange is because Hong Kong have agreement with China. Anything trade in Hong Kong, the Chinese investor can buy from Shenzhen and Shanghai. That it means that there will be a lot more demand for the Thai stock from Chinese investor. So that will be another thing that we can work together through Hong Kong. Hong Kong is their stepping board to go outside, and it's also a gateway to get into China and also GBA. I think this will be another thing that we can work together. And in terms of politics, they're looking for relationship. And as Dr. Panitan said, the best thing about Thailand is that we don't quarrel with anyone. We don't argue with anyone. We set good friend. And yes, another good friend also. So basically we are friends with everyone, right? So everyone like Thailand, and we can use this position very well. It's come to my last point. I think relationship with China is very important, but we also have to work with other also. India and South Asia will become very important. South Asia is now waking up. This is almost 15 years already. India growing at 7%. Bangladesh is 10 years already. Myanmar maybe almost 10 years also. So basically this is a combination of Myanmar, Bangladesh and India as big as China. We have to move to the west side also as we connecting with China in the east. So basically, if we can do both sides, Thailand will become very exciting place to do business. And as a result, no wonder over the past month, I have seen so many companies from America coming to Thailand. Amazon never come to visit us. Now they knock on the door. VMware, Microsoft, Google, everyone said, I want to invest into Thailand. You know why? Because as Dr. Panitan said, American is also getting afraid. They want to be part of it also. So being partner with China, partner with India, raise a lot of value for Thailand. And that will definitely strengthen the position as the man in the middle, who can connect with everyone and be friend with everyone. And that will definitely take Thailand to another step with all of this relationship that we are building.
Thank you, Kun Prinn. Please, what can Thailand and China do to boost, to deepen the relationship?
I think it's important that China itself holds up to the responsibility of being the leader of Asia. Thailand and China, yes, can grow in their own areas, but to grow that relationship in a constructive manner, China needs to play the leadership role, especially on the trade side that we mentioned. We have a regional comprehensive economic partnership deal to be signed and completed next year. I hope China can play a constructive leadership role to both work with India, which is relatively a little bit more reluctant to join, perhaps partly on certain issues that they have. But China can play both a creative, constructive and leadership role in this. And I'm sure they have relationship with India that I think they want to improve. And I'm hopeful that with that improvement in that relationship, we want a strong regional leadership, because we all know that the next 5 to 10, 15, 20, 30 years, the leadership will come from Asia. It's not going to come from Europe or America. So how does Asia or Central Asia stick together and find a core and a structure to work together for longer-term sustainable growth? China will have to bear the leadership responsibility that is already an economics powerhouse that it has to lead. So I'm hopeful and I'm hoping, because as you all know, as Kobsak said correctly, we don't quarrel with anyone. We only quarrel internally ourselves, just for fun among ourselves. But just that we're practicing the arts of negotiating with other countries among ourselves. But America itself, I think, will also have a role that they want to play in Asia and ASEAN. They already launched the Indo-Pacific initiative, which I think they have their own agenda. And in this agenda, perhaps India and Japan may also get distracted. with RCEP actually a bigger deal. So I'm hoping that Thailand and China can play a joint leadership role in pushing RCEP towards the finish line, because that will bring about the biggest free trade agreement area for a regional trade pact that the world has ever seen. Second point, I'm hopeful that on the cultural level, the flows of goods and the flows of people rather, and exchanges of traditions and like-minded, how do you say, nationalities, that Thais are Chinese, Chinese are Thai, and we are like family. So in that concept that we genuinely feel among each other, I hope that the Chinese will be kind to us in looking at us as a real younger brother, that they would help us, because they have grown up. They've come. I'm saying this in a kind way, because I think that the Chinese have grown massively, and it's an extraordinary success that Xi Jinping and the president before has achieved for China in the last decade. So how do we bring down the barriers that there are some trust issues among the Thai corporates when they view the Chinese investment? There are still skeptical eyes, if I may say in a direct manner, when the Chinese come to invest in Thailand, whether through nominees, whether through direct investment. There are still some skepticism, but I believe that the people-to-people exchanges, the cultural exchanges and tradition, there's a lot of goodwill among the two countries. And it's no accident that our crown princess, the princess was receiving one of the top honors that a foreigner can receive in China, and I'm sure vice versa. I hope that President Xi Jinping will honor Thailand and pay a visit to Thailand, because Thailand is one of the only two countries in ASEAN that President Xi has not paid a visit to since he's taken on the presidency. So hopefully, I'm not sure it's a wish asking too far, that I'm sure many people are working towards that trip, but I'm hope that President Xi Jinping will come to Thailand and cement that relationship both on the people to people. Lastly, I think on the moral compass and the governance, Asia needs to take a lead, because you see Trump has no interest in moral compass. Not that he's not morally correct, which he maybe sometimes is with some tweets or whatever, but China has started an Asian Development Bank. Well, they call it the AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, the AIIB. I hope the AIIB will set a new moral compass standard when both on the good governance, on the infrastructure investment, on building up new cities, on building up new human capital. That China should take a lead, because they have a great success in building up their own human capital. And great at technological advancement, the data side of things, and the way they have enacted all that. I hope they will transfer some of those knowledge and technology that they want to invest in the Eastern Economic Corridor. So I hope they genuinely would be transferring some of that and be setting a better moral standards than the West have set in the last 10 or 15 or 20 years. Because the Western world have failed capitalism massively. Perhaps it may take a communist country which has a small c, but a capitalism with a small c, to set the right moral standards for capitalism and put the right name and the right morality to all that. So,
thank you, Kap. Kun Kobsidthi, please, the same question. What Thailand and China can do next year to boost relations?
I like it a lot when we were talking about that Thailand with a my pet right attitude. We don't have fights with other countries, and it's observable that we don't have a competing claim in the South China Sea, unlike Vietnam with China, the Philippines with China, Malaysia with China, and so on. So therefore, in terms of geopolitical green light, we have that. I think we have to, and also just alluding to what Dr. Kobsak was saying, Tim Cook was just in town in Thailand, right? So he gave us the honor of visiting our country. I think what I mentioned earlier, I think what we can do a much earlier stage in terms of trying to build and foster relationships in terms of cultural aspects is through education. So exchange programs we might increase this to increase the cultural and the language and also the bonding between two countries. I think that will probably pay a lot of dividends going forward. Once somebody studies in Thailand or a Thai kid goes and studies in China, that builds a longer-term bond, and I think it overcomes a lot of cultural confusion. so that sometimes maybe there's certain Chinese values that Thai people don't understand, or the Thai people don't understand the Chinese values and whatnot. Having these exchange programs, enlarging it so that we can bridge a gap, I think that builds more cohesiveness. But I know it takes a long time to build dividends, but I think, you know, how we play sports, we have events, that is a form of diplomacy which provides a lot of returns. You might not see the returns now, but I think it pays more sustainable returns going forward.
Yes, Dr. Panitan, the same question was Thailand and China should do boost relation next year.
Well, I think I'm going to try to answer your question this way. What do I wish for this Christmas, for this New Year, for Thailand, from China? I think I know business people wishing more investments in the EEC, in the S-curve, industries, and no more bad investments, you know, in hospital, in universities, in stock markets. No nominees, please. I think the business people are hoping this is their gift, you know, for next year. The police are also counting that no more crimes, no more crime gangs, you know, from China, you know, attacking Taiwanese and others. I think that's the wish list. I think the military are hoping to get more exercises, more exchanges. We will send more students to study in China. We have a very successful guided missile system with the Chinese already tested and proved. I think the Thai military hope to have the Chinese assisted in the military modernization. I think that I know that they want for the gift. But I want something different. I want something different. 20 years ago, I came back from United States, 24 years ago, and interviewed a few colonels that went to see Chairman Deng Xiaoping during the Thai confrontation with the Indochina countries. At that time, those Indochina countries are very strong. They were ready to invade Thailand. So the Thai military team consisted of a few young colonels sneak out to meet with Chairman Deng Xiaoping to ask for help. Of course, one of the teams later became the Thai Prime Minister and began to have a very good relation with China. But he asked for Chairman to help. And after that, as you know, the history, Christmas 1979, the Chinese moved troops from the south to confront with one of the countries, you know, on the borders, and had a very big war, teaching lesson that country. So that country had to withdraw troops, you know, from the Thai, you know, Cambodian borders. So the Thai colonel was asking, this is from the interview that I had with his team, what do the Chinese want from helping us? And then Chairman Deng Xiaoping said, no, we don't want anything. We want Thailand to really go back and be successful in developing your own country. If you're successful in developing your own country, it's good for China. Now I'm going to use that same analogy for the Chinese. I think we want now, I don't want anything from the Chinese for this year. I want the Chinese to be very successful, good, and have a good constructive engagement with the US, with Japan, with India. If China can do that, that will be good for Thailand. China doesn't need to do anything for Thailand, doesn't need to give gifts, you know, only be good, you know, successful, constructive with the US. Please, no more wars, you know, no more tensions, and then good with Japanese, good with India. That will be very good for Thailand. I think this is my wish, you know, for this Christmas and for next year and years to come for China, not to do anything more to Thailand, but to continue to have good, responsible, and good role for the region and for the world. And that will be very good anyway. And that will be Christmas gift for everyone, yes.
So, Mr. Ming, you have to respond to this wish list from Dr. Panitan, shortly, briefly speaking, in short. Before we're going to have Dr. Kobsak has the final words, and we're going to close this roundtable discussion. Please, couple words. The wish list from Dr. Panitan that China should should have peace with the U.S., with Japan, with any other country. If China
Yes.
could do that, Thailand will benefit.
I think that China, US, and Japan could have a very peaceful relation. And because that's the willing of the Chinese government and the Chinese people. And for the time being, we have some special, because of the QC, because of the China is now the second power and is surpassing the first, the US, and now the US are preventing that to be happen. But I think we have the wisdom. China and the United States has the wisdom to have a peaceful relation, to have a peaceful solution for all the problems. Because if no peaceful solution, it's terrible for the world, not only for China, but the United States.
Thank you. So Dr. Kobsak, please, you have the last words on this roundtable discussion.
Thank you. I think we have heard from everyone, and I just only have very short conclusion. I think China is our great friend, our family, and it will be very important for both of us to work closely together. Their prosperity is our prosperity, and our prosperity is their prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to thank everyone for joining this roundtable discussion. I think there will be a lot of benefits for our audience in Thailand and other countries, because we're going to publish online the text, the video clips, the Facebook Live in English and translated into Thai and also in Mandarin Chinese. So actually this session, the content will be in 3 languages, online and offline, including newspaper, since Business Today also have the weekly newspaper in Thai. So I hope they will go to publish all the very interesting information on this. And next time we would like to ask you to join our session again in the near future. So thank you ครับ สวัสดีครับ